We're gonna add some color to our water lily that we drew earlier. We're gonna start with 3 different shades of pinks and purples. And we're going to use the post-impressionism style called Pointillism. So all we need to do is make fine little dots all over the areas where we see the different values. What is important is that where we see darker values, we add more little fine dots. Be careful not to make your dots become stripy. You want to make sure that you have a very fine dotted point. So you will work slowly, and as you get into the rhythm of things, you can then go faster. Don't be scared to leave some areas white. There are some areas that are very sunlit, and you want to keep those areas very, very light. So your dots will kind of start to disappear or become lighter towards those very, very light areas. Similarly, you will add dots closer together in the areas that are darker. Once you have a nice reference of where the light and dark areas are, you can take your medium pink color or your darker shade of pink and then add little refined dots in those areas that the shadows cover. Be careful not to cover too much of the flower petal. You want to create very light dotted lines, evenly flowing from the darker to the lighter areas, but do not go into the light areas too much. This is to create a darker value. Now you're going to go over with your darker shade, your purple color, and redefine those very dark shadowed areas. Remember to keep looking at your reference, in this case the water lily that we saw in the beginning of this video. So I keep referring back to that reference to see where the dark and the light areas are on the water lily. Again, the same method applies. Where the areas are darker or more shadows occur, we will have more little dots going into those areas and fading them out into the lighter areas. But try not to go too much into the light areas. Maybe 1 or 2 dots fading into those light areas to create that smooth, flowing illusion from dark to medium to light values. You can use yellow to color the middle or the center of the water lily. I am now just completing the rest of the petals of the flower. I will apply the same method to color the leaves. I will use 2 different shades of green. You can also use a little bit of yellow where the light areas are to to create very nice values with a dark green in the dark shadowed areas, a lighter green in the lighter areas, and a bit of yellow to add that sun-kissed look.